What if I told you that beneath the shimmering waves of the Indian Ocean, there lies a submerged city that just might be a legendary kingdom mentioned in an ancient epic? Yes, we're going on a deep dive into the story of Dwarka, a city described in the Mahabharata, one of the major Sanskrit epics of ancient India. This isn't just an exploration of myth and legend, but also a journey through the fascinating realms of underwater archaeology and radiocarbon dating. So let's plunge into the depths and discover the captivating saga of Dwarka. Dwarka is more than just a name. It's a word that translates to the gateway to heaven. According to Hindu mythology, this majestic city was established by none other than Lord Krishna, a deity worshipped as the 8th avatar of Lord Vishnu. Now, who is Krishna, you might ask? Krishna, a central figure in Hinduism, is widely revered for his wisdom, his strategic prowess, his supernatural feats, and his role as a charioteer, advisor, and friend to Prince Arjuna in the epic Mahabharata. In this ancient text, Krishna flees to the western coast of India after a catastrophic war. Here he establishes the city of Dwarka, a city so opulent and grand that it's often described as a city made of gold. But as stories go, this magnificent city meets a tragic end. After Krishna's death, a series of calamities strike. Submerged by the sea in a matter of days, the city disappears, taking all its architectural grandeur and wealth along with it. The tale of Dwarka is fascinating in its own right, but here's where it gets even more interesting. This myth aligns with a geological phenomenon known as sea level rise, which could result in the submergence of coastal settlements. So this begs the question, is Dwarka just a symbolic tale, or could it be an actual historical event dressed in myth and legend? The archaeology unit of the National Institute of Oceanography is making headlines. The team is embarking on an underwater archaeological expedition to see what lies beneath the sea at Dwarka, on the western coast of India. Led by archaeologists S.R. Rao and S. Gaur, the team discovers something that shakes up the world of archaeology: structural remains and artifacts suggesting the existence of an ancient city. The expedition reveals well-planned stone structures, pottery shards, semi-precious stones, and inscriptions, some of which date back to the Harappan civilization around 2000 BCE. The discoveries don't stop there. Subsequent underwater explorations reveal an extensive network of stone structures, extending over half a mile, which appears to have been built on the bank of an ancient river, the Gomati. The stone structures, ceramics, and inscriptions lend credibility to the existence of a bustling urban center in antiquity. It's an intriguing find, right? But there's a twist. The artifacts and structures found underwater not only suggest the existence of an ancient city, but also hint at a city that may have been submerged by rising sea levels, aligning strikingly with the legend of Dwarka. Could it be that the legend of Dwarka was not merely a legend, but a page out of our own historical past preserved in mythology? So we have established that there's something under the sea at Dwarka, but what exactly did the explorers find? Well, the discoveries at Dwarka were nothing short of astonishing. Firstly, pottery shards were found in abundance. These pieces of ancient ceramics were from a variety of different eras, some of them dating back to the late Harappan period. The variety in pottery styles suggests that Dwarka was inhabited over an extensive period of time, housing several generations of people. Then there were the semi-precious stones. These materials, often used for making jewelry, speak volumes about the economic prosperity of the city. The presence of such materials suggests that Dwarka was a trade center, exchanging goods with different parts of the ancient world. Next, there were the inscriptions. The most important of these was a seal that bore the image of a three-headed animal. The symbolism behind this creature remains a mystery, but the very fact that the inhabitants of Dwarka had a complex system of symbols suggests a sophisticated society. And then, of course, there were the architectural remains. Stone structures of various shapes and sizes were found, giving archaeologists a glimpse into the layout of the city. Among these structures, a series of circular fort-like constructions, believed to be part of the city's defense system, were particularly remarkable. Taken together, these discoveries form a remarkable narrative of an ancient city that was, in its time, a hub of civilization and commerce. And this narrative, much to our astonishment, aligns remarkably well with the mythical city of Dwarka described in the Mahabharata. In a world where we want hard facts, the science of radiocarbon dating can act as our time machine, providing an objective lens through which to view the past. And it was this scientific tool that was used to try and pinpoint the age of the submerged city of Dwarka. Radiocarbon dating works by estimating the age of organic materials, which include ancient artifacts and biological specimens. It's based on the principle that all living things contain carbon, some of which is radioactive C14. When a creature or plant dies, it stops absorbing this radioactive carbon, but the C14 it already contains continues to decay. By measuring the remaining quantity of C14, scientists can estimate how long ago the organism died, or in our case, when the artifacts were last used or made. Applying this technique, pieces of wood from Dwarka were sent to laboratories where they were analyzed for radiocarbon content. The results: the wood samples were found to date back to around 7,500 years ago, vastly predating the expected timeline of Mahabharata, according to most historians. This significant revelation opened up a Pandora's box of questions. Could the submerged city really be the mythical Dwarka? If so, does it mean that our timeline of the Mahabharata is off? Or does it suggest that the city was inhabited long before Krishna supposedly ruled there, and the epic merely borrowed the location's rich history? The radiocarbon dating results were a fascinating discovery, adding a new layer of complexity to the mystery of Dwarka. It reminds us that the lines between history, archaeology, and mythology can blur, leaving us to ponder on the intersection of fact and fiction. How does radiocarbon dating work? Let's step back from the Dwarka and elaborate a little more on this interesting way to measure age. Alright, so imagine you're watching a video on YouTube. When the video starts, it's fully loaded, right? Now let's say you pause the video and go grab a snack. When you come back, you notice that the video has unloaded a bit. It's been buffering and you can't play it right away. That's a bit like how radiocarbon dating works. But instead of a video, we're talking about a kind of stuff called carbon-14. You see, everything that was once alive, like a tree, a dinosaur, or a woolly mammoth, absorbed a type of carbon called carbon-14 when they were living. Once they die, they stop taking in new carbon-14. But here's the cool part. Carbon-14 is a little bit like a slowly buffering YouTube video. Over time, it changes or decays into another kind of stuff called nitrogen-14. Scientists call the time it takes for half of the carbon-14 to change into nitrogen-14 its half-life. Kind of like if half your video had to buffer before you could watch it. For carbon-14, this half-life is about 5,730 years. Now let's say we find a really old piece of wood and we want to know when the tree it came from stopped living. We can't ask the tree, obviously, but we can use a special tool to measure how much carbon-14 is still in the wood compared to how much carbon-12, a type of carbon that doesn't change over time, is in it. If there's a lot of carbon-14 left, the tree probably hasn't been dead very long, but if there's only a little carbon-14 left, that means the tree has been dead for a very long time, and that's pretty much how radiocarbon dating works. Scientists use this method to tell how old things are that used to be alive, from ancient wooden tools to prehistoric animal bones. It's like a time machine that helps us uncover the secrets of the past. The discussion surrounding the ancient city of Dwarka isn't without its skeptics. These are the people who question the conclusions that have been drawn from the archaeological evidence, and their doubts are an important part of the scientific process. One of the main areas of skepticism revolves around the age of the underwater city. Critics point out that while certain samples tested using radiocarbon dating suggest an older date, this doesn't necessarily confirm that the city itself is of the same age. In other words, older organic material could have been incorporated into a younger settlement. Skeptics also point to the complexity and size of the structures that have been found underwater. They argue that these structures are far more sophisticated than what is typically associated with other sites from the same period. Some even suggest that the underwater ruins could be the remnants of a much more recent settlement, potentially even dating to medieval times. Then there's the question of the city's connection to the ancient epic, the Mahabharata. Skeptics argue that just because a city is found where the mythical Dwarka is said to have been, doesn't mean it's the same city. After all, there could have been multiple settlements in the area over the thousands of years of human history. Finally, skeptics argue that more research needs to be done. The underwater site is extensive, and only a small portion has been thoroughly investigated. Until more of the city is explored and more artifacts are found and tested, skeptics caution against drawing firm conclusions about the site's age and cultural significance. But where does that leave us? A submerged city, radiocarbon dates that point to immense antiquity, and a saga that may or may not be the echoes of a distant past. The quest for understanding Dwarka is a testament to the human spirit's insatiable curiosity, bridging the gap between myth and science. So the next time you gaze at the vast expanse of the ocean, remember that beneath its surface may lie stories waiting to be discovered. Ever heard of a civilization that planned their cities with intricate precision, used standardized weights, and wrote in a script that remains undeciphered to this day? Welcome to the mystical world of the Harappans, who flourished in the Indus Valley around 5,000 years ago. This ancient society, one of the cradles of human civilization, was so advanced for its time that it continues to baffle modern historians and archaeologists. Today we dive into the remarkable story of this civilization, exploring their urban architecture, mysterious script, sudden disappearance, and even, dare I say, possible extraterrestrial connections. Sprouting around 3300 BCE, during what we now know as the Bronze Age, the Indus Valley civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization, was an oasis of advancement in an era when most of humanity was still dependent on hunting and gathering. Located in what is now modern-day Pakistan and northwest India, it was a civilization that would change the course of human history. The remarkable thing about the Indus Valley civilization is its expanse. It spanned from the majestic foothills of the Himalayas all the way down to the warm waters of the Arabian Sea, covering more than 1 million square kilometers. It was not a small collection of towns or cities, but a civilization composed of over 1,000 individual settlements. Some of these settlements were as far away as Afghanistan, showcasing the reach and influence of this ancient society. The two largest cities, Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, were the main hubs of the civilization. These cities have offered the most significant evidence about the culture, lifestyle, and technological prowess of the Harappans. The range of artifacts, from terracotta toys to a wealth of intricate seals, found at these sites provides an insight into the complexity and diversity of this civilization. Moreover, the civilization was flourishing at a time when Egypt was still nurturing its first dynasties, and the Sumerians were laying the foundation of Mesopotamia. The Harappans not only coincided with these civilizations, but were engaging in long-distance trade, as indicated by Mesopotamian artifacts found in Harappan cities and vice versa. This ancient network of trade is a testament to the Harappans' enterprising spirit and their role in the early development of international commerce. So, the Indus Valley civilization, with its vast expanse and technologically advanced cities, truly stands out in our human past as a beacon of the early urban revolution that laid the foundations for modern civilization. Few ancient civilizations can compete with the Harappans when it comes to urban planning and architecture. Their cities were laid out with remarkable precision, akin to a modern city's grid system. Main streets ran north to south, intersected at right angles by smaller east-west streets. The meticulous planning also extended to each residential block, where homes were arranged in a grid facing the streets with entrances to the side for privacy. Now consider this. These cities were established around 2500 BCE, a time when most of the world's civilizations were only just beginning to transition from nomadic to settled life. The Harappans not only mastered urban planning, but they also managed to implement it on a large scale throughout their civilization, a testament to their exceptional organizational skills. The architecture of the Harappan civilization was equally astounding. They built their houses, typically 1 or 2 stories, from uniform, oven-baked bricks, a significant advancement from the sun-dried bricks used by contemporaneous civilizations. These houses were equipped with advanced features for the time, such as indoor bathrooms and sophisticated drainage systems. The presence of wells and bathrooms in almost every house, and the intricate network of covered drains indicate a deep understanding of hygiene and public health. In the midst of these residential blocks were larger public buildings and granaries, showcasing the communal aspect of the Harappan life. The Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro is a prominent example. This large, watertight, swimming pool-like structure hints at ritualistic or communal activities, possibly even an early form of public sanitation. The Harappans' urban planning and architecture represent a culmination of societal cooperation, engineering prowess, and a deep understanding of urban living's needs. It was this extraordinary blend of science and society that set the stage for the world's first urban civilization. The Harappans left behind numerous inscriptions, etched primarily on seals, amulets, and pottery. These artifacts contain symbols forming a yet undeciphered script. Despite concerted efforts by linguists and historians, the Harappan script remains one of the last untranslated scripts of the ancient world. Containing about 400 distinct characters, many scholars believe this writing system is logosyllabic, a blend of phonetic and symbolic elements, like ancient Sumerian or Chinese scripts. The inability to crack the Harappan script isn't due to lack of trying, but rather to a shortage of bilingual inscriptions, a tool that was pivotal in decoding ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. The absence of a Harappan Rosetta Stone has thus far kept the civilization's literature, if any, and many aspects of their culture tantalizingly out of reach. However, the Harappans did leave behind a system that we understand, their weights and measures. They used a binary decimal system for weights, with ratios of 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, and 500. They used cubical weight measures made of chert, limestone, stertite, and a few of black basalt and red jasper, ranging from 0.856 G to 8,735 G, evidencing a remarkable consistency and uniformity across a vast region. Measurements of lengths and masses reveal an amazing accuracy. They were capable of measuring angles, constructing geometric shapes, and aligning their architectural structures with cardinal directions. The meticulous precision of their measurements and the widespread use of standardized weights suggest a regulated economic and administrative system. While the Harappan script remains a puzzle, their weight system provides a fascinating insight into their society's structure and values. It underlines a highly developed sense of order, fairness, and possibly an early form of taxation, once again underscoring the Harappan civilization's remarkable complexity and sophistication. As with many great civilizations, the decline and disappearance of the Indus Valley civilization presents a mystery that has baffled scholars for centuries. Around 1900 BCE, signs of gradual decline begin to emerge. The once meticulously planned cities show signs of dilapidation and less rigorous urban planning. Standardized weights and measures, the hallmarks of Harappan society, were used less frequently, suggesting a breakdown in the system of centralized control. Several theories have been proposed for this decline, ranging from climatic changes to societal upheavals. Some scholars believe a major shift in monsoon patterns could have led to prolonged droughts, making agriculture, the backbone of the Harappan economy, untenable. Geological evidence suggests that devastating earthquakes and floods may have played a significant role too, as tectonic movements altered river courses, particularly that of the river Saraswati, which vanished around the same time. Other theories propose the invasion of foreign entities, such as the Aryan people, as the root cause of the Harappan downfall. However, this theory has become less popular in recent years due to a lack of solid archaeological evidence supporting the existence of a large-scale conflict or mass migration. The gradual disappearance of the Harappan culture does not mean that it was completely erased. Elements of their practices and customs are believed to have been integrated into the cultures that succeeded them, particularly in areas such as craft making and agrarian practices. In a way, the legacy of the Harappan civilization lived on, melding with the fabric of the subsequent cultures of the Indian subcontinent. Despite the mysteries that shroud the decline and disappearance of this ancient civilization, the Indus Valley civilization's footprint in history is undeniable. They showcased remarkable progress in urban planning, technology, and societal organization, setting a strong foundation that undoubtedly influenced the civilizations that followed them. Their legacy is a testament to human innovation and resilience, providing a fascinating glimpse into our shared past. The allure of the unknown often entices us to search for links between disparate civilizations and sometimes even to conjecture connections with extraterrestrial entities. The Indus Valley civilization, shrouded in mystery due to its undeciphered script and abrupt disappearance, provides ample ground for such speculations. One intriguing line of inquiry emerges from the numerous Indus Valley seals that depict what appear to be flying objects. These objects have been subject to various interpretations, with some suggesting a link to the ancient alien theory. Proponents argue that these depictions may indicate that the Harappans had contact with extraterrestrial beings. However, mainstream academia generally dismisses these theories due to a lack of concrete evidence and the likelihood of alternative, more plausible interpretations. In terms of inter-civilizational connections, there's intriguing evidence of contact between the Harappans and contemporary Mesopotamian civilizations. Archaeological findings have unearthed Harappan seals and jewelry in ancient Mesopotamian sites, indicating trade relations. Additionally, references to a distant country known as Milaha in Mesopotamian texts are believed by many scholars to refer to the Indus Valley civilization. Some researchers also suggest possible cultural and technological influences between the Harappans and the ancient Egyptians, another civilization renowned for its advanced engineering feats. However, while such connections are plausible, given the maritime capabilities of these societies, concrete evidence supporting this theory remains limited. Unraveling these potential connections is a captivating, yet complex pursuit. While these theories, particularly those involving ancient aliens, often venture into the realm of speculation, they underscore our fascination with the vast and complex web of ancient civilizations. As our understanding of the past continues to evolve, who knows what startling connections and revelations await us? As we take a step back and contemplate the Indus Valley civilization, it's not just their tangible achievements that mesmerize us. It's the aura of mystery surrounding their undeciphered script, the mystery of their abrupt disappearance, and the tantalizing possibility of connections with other ancient societies, and perhaps even extraterrestrial entities. But the true testament to their legacy is how they inspire us to constantly question, explore, and strive to understand our shared human past. So next time you look at an urban grid or a piece of writing, take a moment to appreciate the journey of human civilization, a journey that's as exciting in its certainties as it is in its mysteries. Have you ever looked up at the stars and wondered how our ancestors interpreted these celestial bodies? What if I told you there was a civilization that not only gazed at the cosmos, but wrote sophisticated texts that connected life, nature, and the universe in one profound framework? This was the Vedic civilization, a culture that emerged around the same time when the pyramids were being built in Egypt, but halfway across the world in the Indian subcontinent. Their fascinating contributions to astronomy, philosophy, and mathematics are still evident in modern society, yet their beliefs and laws seem to intertwine with other ancient civilizations, even hinting at advanced technologies and extraterrestrial connections. So let's embark on a journey into the past to a time when the Vedas were being composed and uncover the intriguing world of the Vedic civilization. The Vedic civilization is named after the Vedas, which are the oldest scriptures in Hindu literature. But these are not just religious texts. They are in many ways a window into the culture, science, and philosophy of a society that thrived between 1500 and 500 BC. A significant component of ancient Indian society, the Vedic civilization spanned across the northern and northwestern parts of India, covering the modern-day states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and parts of Rajasthan. The Vedic civilization's chronology itself is intriguing. Its beginning coincides with the end of the Indus Valley civilization, leading some to suggest that the Vedic people might have been the successors of the Indus Valley people. Others suggest that they were entirely distinct entities, with the Vedic civilization being pastoral and nomadic compared to the urban, settled life of the Indus Valley civilization. However, it's clear that both civilizations were remarkably advanced for their time. The civilization gets its name from the four Vedas: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvaveda. These texts are a collection of hymns, rituals, and chants used in religious rites and ceremonies. The texts are written in Sanskrit, and they provide valuable insights into the societal structure, economic practices, and philosophical beliefs of the Vedic people. But they also contain some intriguing elements that have sparked debates among scholars and enthusiasts alike. References to advanced astronomical knowledge, mentions of flying machines or vimanas, and sophisticated metallurgical practices raise questions about how much the Vedic civilization knew and understood. Some argue that these elements point towards ancient technology, possibly even interaction with extraterrestrial intelligence, while others interpret them as metaphors or religious symbolism. The debate continues, making the Vedic civilization an endless source of intrigue and fascination. The Vedic civilization has left an indelible mark on the world, and its influence continues to shape our modern lives in ways that we may not even recognize. We owe a great deal of our understanding of early philosophy, astronomy, mathematics, and health sciences to this ancient civilization. Take, for instance, the concept of zero. Today, we take it for granted, but it was during the Vedic period that mathematicians began grappling with this revolutionary concept, changing the course of mathematics forever. Vedic astronomy was equally advanced. The texts detail a deep understanding of celestial mechanics. The Vedas describe how the Earth revolves around the Sun, a fact that was only widely accepted much later in human history. They also mention Vimanas, which many interpret as references to flying machines, causing speculations about possible advanced technology or even ancient aviation. The health sciences also saw significant advancements during the Vedic period. The Rigveda and Atharva Veda mention numerous plants and herbs used for medicinal purposes, marking the early beginnings of Ayurveda, one of the world's oldest holistic healing systems. Yoga, a practice that is now globally recognized for promoting physical and mental well-being, also finds its roots in the Vedic civilization. In terms of societal contributions, the Vedic civilization also pioneered the caste system, an intricate social structure that has shaped Indian society for centuries. While controversial in its implications, it provides unique insights into the cultural and social organization of the time. Of course, the spiritual philosophy of the Vedas has had a profound influence, forming the foundation for Hinduism and inspiring later philosophies like Buddhism and Jainism. The teachings emphasize the pursuit of knowledge, the harmony of the individual and the cosmos, and the principles of dharma, righteousness, artha, wealth, karma, desire, and moksha, liberation, desire. However, some elements of the Vedas have sparked lively debates. References to advanced technologies and knowledge that seems beyond the scope of a civilization from that era have led some to theorize about extraterrestrial involvement or connections with other ancient civilizations. When we start to dig into the intricacies of the Vedic civilization, we uncover striking resemblances to other ancient cultures, suggesting possible connections or shared influences. One of the most intriguing of these is the connection to ancient Egypt. Both civilizations flourished around the same time and shared surprisingly similar practices. For instance, the concept of Ma'at in Egyptian civilization closely mirrors the Vedic principle of Artai, both denoting cosmic order and moral law. Furthermore, both civilizations demonstrated advanced knowledge of astronomy. For instance, the Egyptian pyramids and Vedic structures both show a high level of astronomical alignment. Was this merely a coincidence, or was there a shared underlying knowledge that spanned these civilizations? The connection to ancient Sumer is also noteworthy. The Rig Veda, one of the oldest texts of the Vedic civilization, mentions River Saraswati, which is believed to be the present-day Gagahakra River. Interestingly, Sumerian texts also refer to a river similar to the Saraswati, indicating possible interactions between these civilizations. Another fascinating connection is seen in the similarities between the ancient Harappan symbols and the later Brahmi script used in the Vedic civilization. Could it be that knowledge was passed from one to the other? Perhaps one of the most intriguing theories, however, involves extraterrestrial influences. Some theories suggest that the knowledge and advancements of the Vedic civilization were influenced by alien civilizations, citing references to Vimanas or flying machines in the ancient texts as evidence. While these connections are intriguing, it's important to approach them with a critical eye. The Vedic civilization, much like a supernova, may have had a relatively short lifespan compared to the cosmic scale of human history, but its impact continues to resonate even today. From the creation of Sanskrit, considered one of the oldest languages in the world and the mother of all Indo-European languages, to the foundational texts of Hindu philosophy, the Vedas, the civilization has left behind a cultural and intellectual legacy that is profound and enduring. Beyond language and religion, the Vedic civilization's contributions to science, particularly mathematics and astronomy, were remarkable. They conceptualized the idea of zero and developed a decimal system of counting, revolutionizing mathematical operations. In the realm of astronomy, they charted the movements of celestial bodies with striking accuracy. underlining a sophisticated understanding of the cosmos. These advancements are not only intriguing for their time, but continue to shape modern scientific thought and practices. The Vedic civilization's influence extended to social structures as well. The system of Varnas, a social hierarchy that would later evolve into the caste system, can trace its origins back to this civilization. While this has been a controversial legacy, it underscores the deep-seated influence of the Vedic civilization on the societal fabric of the Indian subcontinent. There are also fascinating yet controversial theories about the Vedic civilization's connection to ancient technology and even extraterrestrial life. References to vimanas, or flying machines in ancient texts, have sparked speculation about advanced, possibly alien technology. While these theories often skirt the realm of fringe science, they certainly add to the intrigue surrounding this civilization. As we delve deeper into the lore of the Vedic civilization, we find intriguing parallels and points of convergence with other ancient civilizations. One such connection arises with the Sumerians, one of the earliest civilizations in the world that sprouted in the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia. Like the Vedic civilization, the Sumerians had a pantheon of gods, and they too were advanced in astronomical observations. Sumerian texts also speak of flying gods and chariots, which mirror the Vedic tales of Vimanas. Is it a coincidence that two distinct civilizations, separated by geography, came up with similar tales, or does it point towards a shared interaction with advanced technology, possibly extraterrestrial? Adding to the mystery are the theories postulating a connection between ancient civilizations and extraterrestrial beings. Ancient alien theorists propose that gods in both the Vedic and Sumerian pantheon were, in fact, advanced extraterrestrial beings who were mistaken as deities. They cite references to advanced technology, like the Vimanas in Vedic texts, and the detailed astronomical knowledge that far surpassed what would have been possible with the technology of the time. Furthermore, striking similarities in architectural designs, symbolism, and religious rituals found across ancient civilizations have led to speculations of a shared ancient culture or a mother civilization. Some theories even suggest that this civilization could be the mythical city of Atlantis, which spread its knowledge across the world before it was lost to time. We've journeyed through millennia, across continents, and even ventured into the cosmos as we've explored the mysteries of the Vedic civilization. We've seen their incredible contributions, pondered their connections to other ancient civilizations, and even dared to question the possibility of ancient alien interactions. Whether or not these theories are true, they give us a deeper appreciation for the breadth of human history and the fascinating tapestry of cultures that have shaped our world. So, the next time you gaze up at the night sky, remember the Vedas, the Sumerians, and wonder, what could the ancients see that we've forgotten? What if I told you that beneath your feet, hidden in a forgotten shipwreck or tucked away in an ancient burial mound, could lie treasures worth millions, even billions of dollars? But what really makes them so valuable? Is it the weight of the gold or the history they hold? Let's take an adventurous journey through time and across continents to unearth some of the most staggering treasure finds in history, starting with a mysterious burial mound in England, the Sutton Hoo. Journey with me to Egypt, 1922. Howard Carter, an archaeologist backed by the wealth of Lord Carnarvon, made one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of all time, the virtually undisturbed tomb of the pharaoh Tutankhamun. After years of fruitless digging in the Valley of the Kings, Carter's persistence finally paid off. He discovered a flight of steps that led to a sealed door and, beyond it, a world untouched for over 3,000 years. Inside the tomb were 4 rooms filled with items that offered an invaluable glimpse into the wealth, sophistication, and culture of ancient Egypt. These items, more than 5,000 in total, were meticulously recorded by Carter and his team over the course of 8 years. Among the treasures were chariots, statues, a ceremonial fan, food and wine jars, and personal items of the boy king. The centerpiece was the stone sarcophagus containing 3 nested coffins, the final one made of solid gold. Inside lay the mummy of the young king, adorned with a dazzling funerary mask of gold and lapis lazuli, considered one of the most beautiful artistic creations in the world. This mask alone weighs about 22.6 pounds of solid gold and is one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Egypt. Valuing the treasures of King Tut's tomb is an almost impossible task due to its historical, archaeological and cultural importance. However, if we were to consider just the raw materials, the price of gold alone for the burial mask would today be around $600,000. But the real value lies far beyond the cost of materials. When the treasures toured in the late 1970s, they were insured for an estimated $36 million. In today's dollars, accounting for inflation, that would be close to $144 million. But the actual value of this window into ancient Egypt is truly immeasurable. It's 1622, Spain. The Nuestra Señora de Atocha, a heavily armed galleon, set sail from Cuba back to Spain, laden with an unimaginable wealth extracted from the New World. The treasure on board included 24 tons of silver bullion, 180,000 silver coins, copper ingots, gold coins, emeralds and other precious jewels. But fate had other plans for the Atocha. Just a day after setting sail, it was caught in a furious hurricane, sinking it near the Florida Keys and taking its treasure down to the bottom of the sea. Fast forward to the 20th century, enter treasure hunter Mel Fisher. Fisher spent 16 relentless years searching for the Atocha, overcoming hardship, doubt and the tragic loss of his son and daughter-in-law in the pursuit. His motto was, "Today's the day," a testament to his undying belief that he would find the Atocha. And in July of 1985, Fisher's dream came true. They found the main pile of the Atocha, a mound of silver bars and other artifacts, the heart of the ship's lost cargo. The Atocha treasure find was enormous, the mother lode as Fisher called it. The treasure trove contained 40 tons of gold and silver, 114,000 Spanish silver coins known as pieces of 8, gold coins, Colombian emeralds, golden chains, and hundreds of other artifacts. Today, the salvaged gold and silver alone is worth over $400 million. But the story doesn't end there. Even though the main pile of the Atocha has been found, many of the ship's precious jewels are believed to still be scattered over the ocean floor, lost to the sands of time, waiting for the next Mel Fisher to declare, "Today's the day." Our final destination lies beneath the Atlantic Ocean, a world away from the Silk Road, where the story of the SS Central America unfolds. Also known as the Ship of Gold, the SS Central America was a 280-foot sidewheel steamer that operated between Central America and the eastern coast of the United States during the 1850s. In September 1857, she was caught in a hurricane and sank off the coast of the Carolinas, taking with her a treasure trove that played a pivotal role in the California gold rush. The ship was carrying a hefty cargo of gold prospectors returning from California, laden with their hard-earned nuggets and coins. When the ship sank, it was carrying an estimated 21 tons of gold, a loss that contributed to the Panic of 1857, a financial crisis that shook the United States. Fast forward to the 1980s, when a group led by marine engineer Tommy Thompson used evolving technology and extensive research to locate the shipwreck and recover a portion of its treasure. The treasure that they managed to bring up from the seabed included thousands of gold coins, hundreds of gold ingots, and countless gold nuggets. The exact value of the SS Central America's treasure is difficult to determine, as it depends on the weight, purity, and collector value of the individual pieces. However, the recovered gold was initially insured for $100 million when it was brought up in the late 1980s. Auctions of the treasure have since brought in tens of millions of dollars, and the full value of the recovered gold is thought to exceed $150 million. The majority of the treasure still lies at the bottom of the ocean, its exact worth unknown but undoubtedly colossal. The tale of the SS Central America is a reminder that sometimes the sea keeps the most glittering secrets. Our journey takes us now to Afghanistan in 1978, where a Soviet-Afghan archaeological team unearthed 6 burial mounds in the province of Jauzian, near Shebbegan in northern Afghanistan. The site, known as Tilia Tepe or Golden Hill, held an extraordinary discovery, a treasure hoard from an ancient nomadic tribe known as the Bactrians. The tombs contained over 20,000 pieces of jewelry and precious objects dating back to the 1st century BC, golden bracelets, necklaces, medallions, crowns, belts, and even boot buckles, intricately designed with a mix of Hellenistic, Indian, Chinese, and nomadic influences. The most iconic piece from the hoard is perhaps the collapsible crown of one of the female nobles, adorned with a tree of life motif, showing the sublime craftsmanship of the time. This treasure, commonly referred to as the Bactrian gold, offers a golden window into the life, culture, and the wide-reaching connections of the ancient Silk Road. But what's even more remarkable is the story of its survival. During the turbulent years that followed its discovery, the Bactrian gold was thought lost or stolen. However, it was safely hidden away in a vault in Kabul, only to be rediscovered in 2003, thereby safeguarding an invaluable part of humanity's shared cultural heritage. So, what is the worth of this magnificent treasure trove? Placing a value on archaeological artifacts is challenging, but expert estimates suggest that the gold alone could be worth over $200 million. However, the historical and cultural significance of the Bactrian gold makes it in many ways truly priceless. Picture the calm countryside of Suffolk, England in 1939. Edith Pretty, a wealthy landowner intrigued by the mysterious earthen mounds on her property, hires self-taught archaeologist Basil Brown to investigate. As Basil digs into the heart of the largest mound, he uncovers an undisturbed ship burial, an incredible rarity of its kind. The burial belonged to a high-ranking individual, likely a king or a noble warrior from the 7th century. The ship measured a staggering 27 meters in length, but its contents were even more awe-inspiring. Buried within were a collection of artifacts with unrivaled craftsmanship and material richness, reflecting the pinnacle of the Anglo-Saxon period's artistic and technical capabilities. Among the items were weapons, including a sword and a shield, both highly ornamental and inlaid with garnets. More than 40 gold items were found, including a gold belt buckle that alone weighs 400 grams. Intricate shoulder clasps adorned with garnets and intricate filigree work, coins from Frankish mints, and a purse filled with gold coins were also discovered. But the most iconic find was undoubtedly the ornately decorated helmet, a symbol of sovereignty and martial prowess, restored from hundreds of fragments into a grand piece of history. Now, estimating the monetary value of the Sutton Hoo treasure is challenging because it's not just about the weight in gold, but also the historical and cultural significance, which is simply incalculable. For comparison, a single artifact from the Staffordshire hoard, another Anglo-Saxon treasure, was valued at £3.285 million, about $4.3 million in today's terms, in 2009. And the Sutton Hoo finds are even more significant. Though we can't attach a specific dollar amount to the Sutton Hoo treasure, its invaluable insight into the Anglo-Saxon world spirituality, artistry, and power dynamics makes it a priceless treasure of humanity. Stepping away from sunken ships and royal tombs, we find ourselves in the quiet town of Panagurishte, Bulgaria. Here in 1949, three brothers were digging clay for bricks when they stumbled upon a remarkable golden artifact, setting in motion a discovery that would shake the archaeological world. The brothers had discovered the Panagurishte treasure, a golden hoard dating back to the 4th to 3rd centuries BC. The treasure consists of 9 vessels, including a filey, 3 wine jugs, and 4 rhytons. Each of these pieces was ornately decorated with scenes from Thracian mythology and custom, revealing the deep and rich cultural tapestry of the Thracian people. One of the most stunning pieces, the amphora rhyton, is believed to be a ceremonial vessel. Crafted in gold, it is adorned with scenes depicting a Thracian ruler and a procession of servants, warriors, and elders, giving us a glimpse into the courtly life of ancient Thracia. What's most astounding about this find is not just the gold itself, but the exceptional craftsmanship, the exquisite detailing, and the storytelling through art. The weight of the treasure is approximately 6.164 kilograms of 24-karat gold. Considering the cultural and historical value plus the raw gold value, it is estimated that the Panagurishte treasure is worth at least $200 million. But can you really put a price on a discovery that has unlocked so many secrets of a long-lost civilization? For many, the true value of the Panagurishte treasure is not in dollars and cents, but in its priceless contribution to our understanding of the human past. So there we have it, an odyssey through time and space, chasing gold, history, and the human spirit. From Sutton Hoo's ghostly ship to the sunken SS Central America, and from the golden pharaoh Tutankhamun's resting place to the Thracians' exquisite golden hoard in Panagurishte, we've uncovered not just treasures but narratives, civilizations and cultures that once flourished. After all, we know the real treasure lies not in gold or gems, but but in the knowledge and understanding we gain. As we look around us, we see the present, the product of our collective past. But what if we could peel back the layers of time and directly touch history? What if I told you that we do hold keys to the past? I'm not talking about time travel, at least not in the H.G. Wells sense, but rather about artifacts, objects created or used by humans long ago. In our hands today, they bridge thousands and thousands of years. They connect us to ancient cultures, long extinct civilizations, and the dawn of human ingenuity. So join me as we embark on a journey to discover the top 10 most ancient artifacts ever found on Earth, revealing untold stories and unearthing the secrets they've been holding for millennia. Our journey to uncover our history takes us first to a rocky outcrop in Morocco, where researchers unearthed a startling find, the Lebedia stone tools. Discovered in the rich layers of Lebedia, Morocco, these artifacts consist of simple yet effective cutting, scraping, and pounding tools, crafted from stone by our distant hominid relatives. What sets these tools apart is their age, an incredible 2.4 million years. These tools serve as a testament to the dawn of technology, a time when our ancestors first began to manipulate their environment using tools. These early hominids didn't just find a rock and use it as it was, they altered it, intentionally knocking off flakes to create a tool that was sharper and more effective. This marks the earliest evidence of what anthropologists call the Oldowan tool industry, named after the Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, where similar tools were found. Which leads us to our next point of interest, the Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania. It was here among the exposed layers of sediment that archaeologists discovered the Olduvai hand axe. Dating back around 1.2 million years, this tool marks a significant step forward in human evolution. While still part of the Oldowan tool industry, the hand axe reflects a notable increase in sophistication. It's symmetrically shaped, with edges painstakingly chipped and refined on both sides, representing a leap in tool-making skills. This type of tool, known as a bifacial tool, allowed for a more precise and versatile usage. The hand axe could have been used for a variety of tasks, such as cutting meat, digging in the soil, or chopping wood, essentially making it the Swiss Army knife of the Lower Paleolithic era. The creation of such a tool required foresight, planning, and an understanding of how striking a rock in a particular way could result in a desired shape and edge. It is this complexity and versatility that make the Olduvai hand axe such a crucial link in understanding our ancestors' technological advancement. From the plains of Tanzania, we travel next to the rugged landscapes of central India. Here, nestled within the Bhimbetka rock shelters, we find one of the earliest forms of human expression, the Bhimbetka petroglyphs. These ancient rock art pieces date back an astonishing 290,000 years, making them one of the oldest known forms of artistic expression. The petroglyphs, etched into the hard surface of the rocks, depict a rich tapestry of life from our Paleolithic ancestors. You can see scenes of hunting, dancing, and even what seems to be rudimentary forms of games. These images allow us to catch a glimpse of the world as perceived by our ancient ancestors. This wasn't merely art for art's sake, it was a means of communication and storytelling. The fact that these drawings have survived to this day speaks volumes about the durability of the rock surfaces they were carved into and the relative protection offered by the shelters. As we venture further into our human history, we stumble upon another form of ancient artistry, this time located within the Hohlefels cave in Germany. The artifact, the Venus of Hohlfels, estimated to be at least 35,000 years old, this small figurine carved from mammoth ivory represents the oldest known depiction of a human figure. It stands at a mere 2.4 inches in height, but its cultural and historical significance is immense. The figurine portrays a woman with exaggerated features common among the Venus figurines found across Europe. This prevalent depiction suggests a cultural importance placed on fertility and the female form during the Paleolithic era. Discovering such an ancient, anthropomorphic figure provides insight into our ancestors' cognitive development. It signifies the ability to form and understand symbolic representations, a cornerstone for complex human culture and abstract thinking. The Venus of Hohlfels isn't just a primitive piece of art. It's a testament to the evolving complexity of human cognition. we are venturing back into the caves of Germany to unearth another of humanity's most ancient treasures, the Lion Man of the Hohenstein-Stadel. This fascinating figure, crafted from mammoth ivory, is roughly 40,000 years old, hailing from the Aurignacian culture of the Upper Paleolithic era. Standing at an impressive 11 inches tall, this statue is notable for its unusual hybrid figure, a human body with the head of a lion. This intriguing hybrid form is the earliest known zoomorphic, animal-shaped sculpture, and is also the oldest known uncontested example of figurative art, that is, art that is meant to represent a specific subject. The Lion Man's exact symbolic or ritualistic significance is unknown, but its creation suggests that our early ancestors engaged in complex symbolic and spiritual thinking. Traveling eastward from Germany, we arrive in Russia, the location of our next ancient artifact, the Shigir idol. Carved from larch wood approximately 12,100 years ago during the Mesolithic period, this towering wooden statue stands at a stunning 9 feet tall, decorated with geometric patterns and faces. Its age was determined using radiocarbon dating, which revealed it to be the oldest known wooden sculpture in the world. Found in the Ural Mountains peat bogs in the late 19th century, the Shigir idol displays an astonishing level of sophistication for its age. The figures and geometric patterns carved into its surface continue to baffle researchers. Some believe these markings to be a form of encoded information, potentially a narrative or a form of prehistoric scripture. The preservation of the idol is a testament to the conditions in the peat bog where it was found, demonstrating the importance of environmental factors in the survival of ancient artifacts. It's a silent storyteller, a messenger from an era that predates our written history, providing a tangible link to our long-gone ancestors. From the icy peaks of Russia, we venture to the rolling green hills of Scotland, where we discover the ancient Ainu Ness necklace. This stunning piece of prehistoric jewelry dates back approximately 8,500 years during the Mesolithic period. Made of 59 shale beads and 2 perforated animal teeth, the Ainu Ness necklace was discovered at the Ainu Ness site on the Orkney Islands of Scotland. The necklace is of significant historical value, as it demonstrates the craftsmanship and symbolic thinking of our early ancestors. The beads were carefully shaped, smoothed, and strung together in a manner that required significant time and effort. This indicates that even thousands of years ago, humans created items not only for practical uses, but also for aesthetic or symbolic purposes. It provides a glimpse into the cultural life of our prehistoric ancestors, showing their artistic skills, their beliefs, their appreciation for beauty, and possibly their social structure. Our next stop on this journey through ancient history is Italy, where we encounter a fascinating artifact, the Iceman, also known as Ötzi. Ötzi is a naturally mummified man who lived around 5,300 years ago during the Copper Age. He was discovered in 1991 in the Italian Alps and is one of the oldest and best preserved human mummies ever found. The Iceman is a unique artifact, as he provides a snapshot of a human being frozen in time. Analysis of his body has given researchers a wealth of information about life during his era. For instance, his clothing, made of a variety of leathers and furs, revealed what people wore at the time. His tools, including a copper axe, a flint knife, and a quiver of arrows, showcase the technology available. Even his stomach contents were analyzed, offering insights into the diet of his era. Further studies of Ötzi, including his DNA, diseases, and even his tattoos, have provided a detailed picture of human life in the Copper Age, making this artifact one of the most significant archaeological finds in history. Next, we delve into the era of the pharaohs and journey to the sun-soaked land of Egypt. Our artifact of interest here is the Narmer palette. Named after Pharaoh Narmer, the Narmer palette is a significant archaeological find dating back to around 3100 BC. It's widely considered one of the earliest historical records, marking the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt under Narmer's rule. This 2-foot-tall ceremonial palette is not just a utilitarian object for grinding cosmetics, as was common during its time. Instead, it's an intricately carved piece of siltstone depicting the pharaoh in the act of smiting his enemies, a common pose in ancient Egyptian art symbolizing the ruler's power. Moreover, the palette displays hieroglyphs, one of the earliest forms of writing, which helped scholars decode and understand this ancient language. The Nama Palais is a powerful testament to the start of pharaonic rule in Egypt, marking the beginning of the early dynastic period and laying the foundation for a civilization that would last for over 3 millennia. Finally, our journey through time brings us to the cradle of civilization, ancient Mesopotamia, where we encounter the last artifact on our list, the Standard of Ur. Dating back to approximately 2600 BC, the Standard of Ur is an incredibly well-preserved artifact discovered in the royal cemetery of the ancient city of Ur in modern-day Iraq. The artifact is a small box-like object about 8.5 inches high, 19.5 inches long, and 4.5 inches deep. It's decorated on all 4 sides with incredibly detailed mosaics made of lapis lazuli, red limestone, and shell, set into bitumen, a tar-like substance. The mosaic scenes depict a narrative in 3 registers, much like a comic strip showing war and peace aspects of the ancient Sumerian society. On the war side, the ruler, probably a king, is shown with his soldiers defeating the enemies. On the peace side, a banquet scene illustrates music, prosperity, and trade. These intricate depictions offer a window into the societal organization, technology, economy, and art of the early Mesopotamian civilization. As we conclude our journey, we are reminded that each artifact, from the simplest stone tools to the intricately designed pieces of art, carries with it the story of our shared human history, showcasing the ingenuity, creativity, and resilience of our ancestors. The annals of archaeology are filled with discoveries that ignite the imagination, challenge conventional wisdom, and even stir controversy. From the mysterious undeciphered Voynich manuscript to the mysterious formations of the Bosnian pyramids, the world is filled with relics and artifacts that defy easy explanation. These top 10 most controversial archaeological discoveries invite us on a thrilling journey through time, unraveling secrets, exploring ancient civilizations, and confronting puzzles that continue to baffle even the most seasoned experts. As we delve into these captivating mysteries, we may find ourselves questioning what we thought we knew about our past and pondering the uncharted territories of human history and ingenuity. Gobekli Tepe, situated in southeastern Turkey, stands as one of the most mysterious archaeological sites on the planet. Dating back to the 10th millennium BCE, it challenges the traditional view of early human civilization. The site consists of numerous massive stone pillars, some weighing up to 10 tons, arranged in a series of circular formations. These megalithic pillars are intricately carved with reliefs of various animals and abstract symbols. What's truly perplexing is the level of architectural sophistication demonstrated, including precise stone shaping and 3D reliefs. The timing of Gobekli Tepe's construction places it within the Upper Paleolithic era, a time when humans were largely considered hunter-gatherers without the means to settle down and build monumental structures. This paradox questions our understanding of human evolution and social organization. The purpose of Gobekli Tepe remains a mystery. Some researchers believe it was a religious sanctuary or ceremonial site, while others theorize it could have served astronomical functions. Its symbolic artistry hints at a complex belief system, possibly a precursor to later mythologies. Excavation at Gobekli Tepe continues to yield new information, keeping archaeologists and historians on their toes. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we know about this ancient and advanced civilization. Discovered in a shipwreck off the coast of the Greek island Antikythera, this ancient device has been termed the world's first analog computer. Dating back to the 2nd century BCE, it's an artifact that highlights the astonishing technological prowess of the ancient Greeks. The Antikythera mechanism is a series of over 30 intricate bronze gears housed in a wooden frame. These gears interact with each other in a complex manner, driven by a hand-turned knob. This mechanism was used to predict astronomical positions, phases of the moon, eclipses, and even the dates of the ancient Olympic Games. Its complex gear ratios allowed for remarkable precision in tracking the movements of celestial bodies, rivaling modern-day astronomical calculations. The Antikythera mechanism has had a profound impact on our understanding of ancient technology and engineering. Its discovery prompted further research into ancient Greek science, leading to the recognition of their advanced understanding of mathematics and mechanics. Modern-day scientists have attempted to reconstruct the Antikythera mechanism, deepening our appreciation for this ancient marvel. Ongoing analysis, including X-ray studies, has unveiled hidden inscriptions and finer details, allowing researchers to continually refine their understanding of its function and complexity. The Baghdad Battery, also known as the Parthian Battery, is a set of artifacts discovered in modern-day Iraq. Thought to date back to the Parthian period, 250 BCE to 250 CE, this discovery challenges our understanding of early electrical technology. Each battery consists of a ceramic pot, a copper cylinder, and a rod of iron. When the components are assembled and an electrolytic solution is added, such as lemon juice or vinegar, the device appears to function similarly to a galvanic cell. The purpose of the Baghdad Battery remains a subject of debate. Some scholars argue that it may have been used for electroplating precious metals onto objects, while others believe it could have had a ceremonial or religious function. The idea that ancient people possessed knowledge of electricity is both fascinating and controversial. Though some experiments have replicated the batteries designed to produce a small electric current, skeptics argue that the artifacts may have had a more mundane purpose, such as storing sacred scrolls. The true nature of the Baghdad Battery continues to be a puzzle in archaeology. Located in the Nazca Desert of southern Peru, the Nazca lines are a series of enormous geoglyphs etched into the ground, comprising over 800 straight lines, 300 geometric figures, and 70 animal and plant designs. These mysterious shapes have captured the world's imagination. The lines were created by removing the reddish surface stones to reveal the lighter ground beneath. Due to the arid and stable climate of the region, the lines have remained mostly intact for centuries, with some dating back to 500 BCE. The function of the Nazca lines is still debated among researchers. Some theories suggest that they were part of an astronomical calendar or a means to communicate with deities. Others posit that they served as ritual paths or markers for water sources. The sheer scale and precision of the Nazca lines have led some to speculate about extraterrestrial involvement. This idea, though largely dismissed by mainstream archaeologists, has fueled many conspiracy theories and added to the mystique of the lines. The Shroud of Turin is one of the most famous and controversial relics in Christian history. Believed by some to be the burial cloth of Jesus Christ, this ancient linen cloth bears the faint image of a man who appears to have suffered physical trauma consistent with crucifixion. The shroud measures approximately 14.3 by 3.7 feet and displays a front and back image of a bearded man with wounds to his wrists, feet, side, and head. Many believe these wounds align with the biblical description of Jesus' crucifixion. The shroud's provenance is debated, with historical records tracing it back to the 14th century in France. Critics argue this timing is inconsistent with the shroud's supposed origin, and in 1988, radiocarbon dating placed it between 1260 and 1390 CE, fueling skepticism about its authenticity. Though the radiocarbon dating seemed to debunk the shroud's origin, subsequent research has raised questions about the sample's contamination, possibly skewing the results. The unique 3D characteristics of the image and the lack of known artistic methods to replicate it add to the mystery. The Great Sphinx of Giza is one of the world's most iconic monuments, yet it hides many secrets. One controversial theory is the Sphinx water erosion hypothesis, which argues that the monument's weathering patterns indicate a much older origin than traditionally believed. The body of the Sphinx exhibits significant erosion, especially on its western enclosure wall. This erosion appears to be caused by water, leading some researchers to propose that the Sphinx may have been exposed to heavy rainfall thousands of years ago. Mainstream Egyptology dates the Sphinx to the reign of Pharaoh Khafre, around 2500 BCE. The arid climate of the region during that period seems inconsistent with the water erosion observed. Proponents of the water erosion hypothesis, such as geologist Robert Schoch, argue that the Sphinx may date back to a much earlier period, possibly as far back as 10,000 BCE. This would align with a time when the region experienced more substantial rainfall. If the water erosion hypothesis were proven true, it would dramatically alter our understanding of ancient Egyptian civilization and its chronology. The idea that such an advanced monument could have been built thousands of years earlier challenges conventional wisdom. Many Egyptologists and geologists have criticized the water erosion hypothesis, arguing that the observed weathering could be the result of wind, salt, and other environmental factors, rather than water. The lack of corresponding evidence in other nearby monuments adds to the skepticism. The crystal skulls are a collection of human skull-shaped carvings made from clear or milky quartz crystal. They have become the subject of intrigue, skepticism, and fascination, with many attributing them to ancient Mesoamerican civilizations, while others consider them to be modern fabrications. The most famous of the crystal skulls is the Mitchell-Hedges skull, discovered in the 1920s, and characterized by a high level of detail and craftsmanship. The skulls vary in size and are often associated with mystical properties and healing powers. Some proponents claim that the crystal skulls are pre-Columbian artifacts, possibly created by the ancient Maya or Aztec civilizations. They are said to contain hidden wisdom and knowledge, and legends abound of their supernatural powers. The Dwarka stones are another mysterious archaeological discovery that has stirred controversy and speculation. Allegedly found in the caves of the Bayanhar Mountains in China in 1938, these circular discs are said to contain tiny hieroglyphs and strange inscriptions. Each Dwarka stone is said to measure about 12 inches in diameter, with a hole in the center. The stones are reportedly inscribed with spiraling grooves containing minute carvings, resembling a phonograph record. A sensational story accompanies the Dwarka stones, linking them to the Dwarka people, a supposed ancient tribe of unknown origin. Some accounts even connect the stones to extraterrestrial visitors, claiming that the inscriptions tell of a spacecraft's crash landing on Earth. Research into the authenticity and origin of the Dwarka stones has been hindered by a lack of tangible evidence. Many of the initial claims regarding the stones and their discovery have been challenged, and no original stones are available for study. The Voynich manuscript is an enigmatic handwritten book, penned in an unknown script and filled with illustrations of plants, astronomical diagrams, and mysterious symbols. Named after Wilfrid Voynich, a book dealer who purchased it in 1912, its origin, authorship, and purpose remain unclear to this day. The manuscript consists of 240 pages, filled with intricate drawings and writings in an indecipherable language. The illustrations suggest that the book may be divided into sections, including herbal, astronomical, biological, cosmological, and pharmaceutical parts. Numerous cryptographers, historians, and linguists have attempted to decode the Voynich manuscript, but all efforts have been in vain. The text defies traditional analysis, and no coherent meaning has been extracted from it. Some even theorize that the text may be meaningless or a sophisticated hoax. Various theories have arisen about the manuscript, including the possibility that it's a medical alchemical text or an encoded version of a known language. Others suggest that it may be a work of art or creation of an imaginative mind. The Bosnian pyramids, located near the town of Visoko, in Bosnia and Herzegovina, are a series of geological formations that have sparked controversy since their discovery in 2005. Semir Osmanagic, who first promoted the site, claims that these are the oldest man-made pyramids on Earth. The site consists of several pyramid-shaped hills, including the Pyramid of the Sun, the Pyramid of the Moon, and the Pyramid of the Dragon. Proponents argue that the hills were shaped by an ancient civilization into pyramids, with evidence of tunnels, stone blocks, and terraces. Many archaeologists and geologists have criticized the claim that these are man-made structures. They argue that the hills are natural formations known as flatirons, and that the evidence presented lacks scientific rigor. Regardless of the controversy, the Bosnian pyramids have become a popular tourist attraction. Many visitors are drawn by the mystical allure of the site and the possibility of uncovering a lost civilization.